Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. And finally we're on to normal content, normal videos talking about normal stuff. I am not going to let the previous videos I've done taint the videos I'm going to do moving forward. I'm going to do them completely objectively. If something's good, I'll tell you it's good. If something's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. But in this event, we are going to talk about the current ongoing event. Okay, so there's several things you need to know about this event if you are still playing the game. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is a common concern that I have seen amongst the player base, and it's this. It is the hunt. Okay, so people are worried about various things. People are worried about the fact that if you are going to get this free copy of Ken that you can get, it's going to require this guy to die all 6 times most likely. Okay, and people are worried that when other players lose access to this test Ken, that's not going to happen, right? They won't be able to do it. I'm going to tell you just now, you're going to get a free copy of Ken via this raid. Okay, let me just explain to you why. Things like raids are essentially a good indicator of what a server or game's activity level is like, and if a boss is not being killed, it sends out a signal that not a lot of people are playing these games. I've played lots of games that have these, and what they actually tend to do is they've got a couple of methods of doing this. They either have the boss always depleting energy, so there'll be something in the background that, imagine it's something like bleed, right, just for talking sake, where the boss is always going to lose energy, right? But obviously if you're attacking it, will happen faster. Sometimes I've played games where they apply multipliers later on, but as you can see, the boss is going down at pretty much the exact same rate that it's gone down at since the day that we started. Okay, so it's clear that that's what's going to happen in this game as well. He will die. He will. All the time, all 6 times, he's going to die. We're going to get the rewards. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't get the final one until the last day or 2. But trust me on this, you're going to get them, because nobody wants it to look as though their game isn't performing as well. So he will die. When he'll die, I don't know, but I would expect by maybe late tomorrow afternoon, evening, this version will die, then we'll have the new one, and it'll go on like that, and he'll pretty much die at a consistent pace of maybe a day and a half at a time. So don't worry about getting enough copies of not copies, but getting enough of the little puzzle pieces to get yourself a copy of Ken, right? Now, were they going to do that initially? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out. Well, we'll never find out actually, because it's done now, right? Because that was the original prizes we were going to get, and they've now obviously put on those little pieces of Ken. But I would expect you to get your Dragon Tears, no problem at all, probably towards the end, like I said. So you can see there you've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? As well as that, you've also got your missions. You get some in here, so you'll get 3 from in here, so that's enough for you to get your 10 pull, right? But on top of that, you've also got these more achievement based missions. Okay, none of these give you diamonds. Now, I'm not give you Dragon's Tears. In fact, none of them give you Dragon's Tears. I think one of them might have. Yeah, one of them did here, right? So what will happen is, when you also do Shadow Invasion, if you're strong enough, you'll get yourself a diamond, not a diamond, but a tier from completing it if you do every single stage on the first portal. On the second portal, I would expect that to ramp up a little bit, where you might get more. So I wouldn't be shocked if you do get 2 full multis from this as well. So maybe you'll get yourself another copy. It really depends what they're doing with that whole scripting thing. It looks like it might have changed. I do not know, right? So rest easy. You are going to get the pieces to give you enough to get a copy of Ken. I would be willing to put money on it if I had to, but yes, you are going to get a copy of Ken, right? So there's that. But you'll probably get 2, to be honest, right? So there's that. The supply shop. There's various things that you might want to buy from this supply shop. It really depends on where you are in the game. However, there's certain things that I would tell you as a player what you kind of want to focus on in here, okay? So, I mean, there's obviously some strong characters down here. You've got Dalsim, you've got Beast Zangief, and you've also got Elena. Now, who do you want from here? I mean, I guess it really depends on you. Personally, if I was to pick up a unit, I'd probably pick up another copy of Dalsim because he seems to be avoiding me. I've got him to like SS, but I need like more copies to get him to SSS. So maybe I would use that, but there's certain things in here that I like better, right? And I'm going to pick up a couple more of them. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do it right now, and it's these. In fact, I don't have enough. I thought I had enough. I'm reading that wrong. I thought they were free. They're 30. I thought I had 30 and they cost free, but now I can see that I was wrong there. But these are really good, okay? I personally recommend these, but they're very hit and miss, okay? Basically, this allows you to change the faction rank on your gear, which will give you a 30% bonus when it's equipped to the right person, which could make a massive difference to your output. So I would consider picking these up if you are someone who is thinking more long term. However, these essentially have their own gacha element attached and you might not get what you're looking for. So there is a bit of a risk involved here. However, I do feel like these are very good value to pick up. But again, you're going to only get a limited supply of these bones. So whether or not you want to waste the ones that you get on these when there's maybe characters in there that could do better for you is really dependent on you, but I do recommend these. Another thing that I recommend is these. These can be quite expensive to pick up in other shops and stuff like that, and they're actually extremely important because you basically use them in the system that is in here, which is part of training. You use them in here, and this is how you upgrade your fighting heart. You use them in these sections to get your bonuses stronger, which is obviously going to make your character stronger overall. Okay, so you could literally have a person who's got player level or character levels 2600 or 260, sorry, and they could be facing off against someone who's got characters at level 250. The person with the higher character levels hasn't been putting investment into here. The person with the lower one has. The person with the lower investment or lower character level but a higher investment here would probably end up winning the battle because they've put stuff into their stats, and it's going to make a massive difference to clearing stages, beating bosses, beating other players. This is going to drive your progress forward, and again, to do that you need these diamonds. So not diamond shards, sapphires, whatever they're called. So you might want to consider picking them up from the shop as well. Okay, now if we go back and take a look at this monster invasion, you will see that there's a lot more going on in this shop. So you've got things like your arcade tokens. Depending on where you are in the game, there may be a good investment for you. As you've seen, you might not always be able to use stuff like that on new characters, so it's more or less going to help you push the roster that you already have, most likely, rather than picking up new characters down the line. But again, it is something you might want to consider investing in. The big one for me is these. As you can see, I've started picking them up, and I'm probably going to be picking up more of them. This is basically the easiest way for you to get your character specific fighting spirits up higher. So your legendary characters, your inferno characters, your master characters, stuff like that. It's how you're going to unlock their highest levels of passives. So I think this is kind of what you want to do. I would say go for these. Personally, they could potentially be your top priority, depending on where your progress is in the game, like I said, okay? Now, there is some other things in here that you might want to consider, like these guys are pretty good to pick up. As you're progressing in the game, you'll find that breakstones are extremely important. This is quite an insignificant amount though, it's not going to make a massive difference to you. Just like the energy, it's not going to make the biggest difference to you, so I don't really see as much value in you picking those up versus the ones you can get from, say, the Divination Tarot event. So for me, I really do think if you're not too worried about picking up these characters, I really do think you should be, in order, prioritising probably these. Then I would really consider picking up these, and if you're kind of okay with both of them, you might want to think about picking up these. Resources is probably going to serve you better in the long run than some of the other things that you can pick up from in here, okay? Now, this, you can only get one of these, okay? But if you get to the point you can get one of these, and it's pretty cheap, then I would probably go ahead and pick it up, okay? T2 engraving stones are very good. They're going to really push on your progress, and I do think it's something that, I mean, it's cheap. Don't get me wrong, you've got to do a lot to unlock it, but if you do happen to unlock it, you should definitely be picking that up, as it is most definitely going to push on your progress, okay? Now, apart from that, it's really hard to say what else you should pick up from the shop. I feel like we've already covered that, but to me, especially if you're a free-to-play player that doesn't really want to invest anymore in this game, which is understandable, but you still want to play it, outside of that, there's really not much more to this event. We've already touched on the fact that you've got the Shadaloo invasion. If stage 2 of that happens to be hard, I'll bring out a video talking about it. Same with stage 3. But other than really logging on each day and doing your free hunt challenges, then there's really not going to be much that you can do to improve your progress here. Like, just go in, do your attacks, help chip away at this damage, although, like I've said, I genuinely believe if you didn't, it would still die. There's no way this boss is not dying. I'm telling you now, there is no way this boss is not dying. But you will get your rewards, you will get your copy of Ken via your puzzle pieces. Again, these raids are often used as an indicator of concurrent number of players and also player health within the game. And like I say, I've played many games, and they tend to make sure, on the surface anyway, it looks as though that's pretty high. So expect this boss to die. Do not worry about it. You will get your copy of Ken via puzzle pieces, and I would expect that as long as you keep chipping away at the content, you will be able to get enough of the wishes to probably get another copy so that you can at least get this guy to A+, okay? Maybe you'll get lucky, because it seems there's been some changes to the algorithm or whatever it is that was guaranteeing one copy, but you weren't seeing any more. It seems that's maybe changed, so I don't know if the guarantee's still there, but I do know that there is the odd chance that you can pull this guy a bit earlier, and you can sometimes pull more than one copy now. So maybe you'll get lucky, but I would expect you to at least get one more copy. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's really hard to talk about this event because it's very passive. There's not really much to do, unfortunately. Even if you're a paying player, there's really not much to do. And take lots of challenges to try and beat this guy. If you do it, there you go. You've made the bar move quicker, I suppose. But really, that's it. There's not much more to it. As I say, I think your priority should be getting the right things from the shop to grow your account, move your progress further. But really, there's not much more to say, to be completely honest. Let me know what you thought of this event. I shouldn't really say let me know what you thought of this event without all the drama that we've spoken about, because there's other videos that you can go and comment on about that, specifically about the event. If you're continuing to play the game, what do you think of the event? What would you like to see happening in future events? Again, let's try and, on this video at least, stay away from the pay-to-play discussion and stuff, because again, there's plenty of videos there if you want to go and comment about that. This is more from a playing point of view. What would you like to see them add that you could enjoy doing during these events and missions and stuff like that? That's really it. So I have been Hayzink. This is a return to normal content. After this, I don't know, I might go back to doing the character showcases. I might go back to doing guides on how to beat certain things. I might literally just show you some of the later stages in game. I'm not entirely sure yet, but I'll figure it out. But that's it. Like I say, my name's Hayzink. Pleasure to have you here on the channel, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Peace, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hadouken!